I'm gonna feed my family for an entire week for $150. 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, that's 21 meals for 150 bucks. Not sure if I can pull this off. On a typical week, $150 seems like a generous amount for groceries. But during the quarantine, our grocery bills have almost doubled because we're home all the time for every meal. I get asked all the time on tips for meal prepping and shopping on a budget, so hopefully I can do that in this video. So let's get to it. Tip 1 right off the bat is to create a menu and make a list. After you've made your list, then you need to agree that you're gonna stick to it. This will help you prevent impulse buys at the store later. Tip number 2, start by shopping at home. It's great to be stocked up on staple pantry items like condiments, cheeses, grains, and things like that. Getting your pantry stocked might mean a larger bill on the front end, but it will save money in the long run. And don't forget to check your freezer. You might have been storing items in there that could spark an idea for a new meal. When planning your menu, plan on recycling 2 of your menu items throughout the week. For example, we plan to have taco night on Tuesday. I will recycle the meat and beans for chili later in the week. My next tip, plan to spend a little more time in order to spend less money. That means you might have to go to more than one grocery store, but it'll be worth it, and you know I always start at Aldi. Included in that tip is spending more time prepping your own food. Buy whole fruits and vegetables instead of pre-chopped stuff. Canned items are always going to be a money saver. Don't forget to include snacks when you're planning your budget. My kids go through a ton of these, especially during the summer, and this is another reason why I like to shop at Aldi. You may not always get your first choice when you're shopping on a budget. You might have to choose a more budget-friendly option, especially when it comes to things like deli meat.
83.58.
I'm just over halfway to 150. I think I'm gonna make this happen. Like I said, this is not ideal to have to go multiple places. It does use up a lot more time. I also don't use a grocery service because there again, that just adds money to the budget that I'd rather spend on groceries. When meal prepping on a budget, stick with affordable meat options and save the expensive stuff for special occasions. Another tip, shop what's on sale. This might mean adjusting your menu slightly, but it's worth it in the end. If you're willing to forego a little nutrition, convenience products like this are super affordable, and it breaks the monotony of lunches, and my kids would love it. Breakfast is one of our lighter meals of the day. The kids are not that hungry, so this is not a time where we eat a ton of food. I'll combine this stuff with some pantry staples that I keep on hand, like grits and cheese. This is what I'm planning on serving for lunches this week. Obviously, this is not enough food for everyone for an entire day, but what you don't see here are leftovers. Leftovers will play a key in lunches, especially when you are planning meals on a budget. There are several items here that will be recycled into multiple meals. I purposely planned my menu based on items that I already had in my pantry, such as rice, taco fixings, and long-lasting vegetables like carrots. Remember those big bags of chicken I bought? Those are going to be recycled into 3 meals, 2 dinners and a lunch. So for tonight, I'm going to make a chicken scallopini. All you need are some breadcrumbs and some egg that you probably have in your pantry staples. And then I'm gonna serve that alongside of a grain from my pantry, as well as some fresh greens. Another great tip, prep as much as you can at one time. While I've got my chicken out, I'm gonna go ahead and put some more into a bag, add some marinade, and now this is ready for the grill. We will have grilled chicken salads later in the week, and also this is great for lunches. Another dinner that I will prep once and cook twice is my taco meat. To turn this meal into chili later in the week, I will use whatever's left over from this meat and beans, and I will throw in another couple cans of beans, some corn, and some tomatoes, and create chili. I always love these bags of chicken. If you can find a natural or organic type of chicken, that's best. But even after creating 2 or 3 meals, I still have leftovers that can go in my freezer. This is how your freezer starts to get stocked. A good planned ahead weekly meal prep will always include using your crock pot as far as I'm concerned. This week I'm doing a pork shoulder that will double as a pasta sauce on Sunday. Our Mississippi pork roast is one of the best recipes ever. You've got to try it, and it's super affordable. I bought this giant bag of potatoes because it's affordable and you can get multi-uses. So another tip is you can also multi-purpose your sides. For the pork roast, I'm going to make a batch of mashed potatoes, and then I will also roast some potatoes later in the week for my flank steak. When you have a stocked pantry, it's always easy to create a simple marinade or sauce for just, basic meats. Saturday, we plan to cook out. So I chose an affordable cut of meat that will serve my family, and I got a flank steak. Because I am buying everything all at once this week, I chose something that will also work well even when it's frozen. To make sure that this stays edible all week, I'm going to go ahead and freeze it in its marinade. Then Saturday morning, I'll pull it out of the freezer and it'll be ready to grill by Saturday night. So I think I'm all set for the week. Those are my tips, and that's how I plan for my family for a week's worth of food for $150. As you can see, I came under budget, but that has yet to be determined really. I might have to go back to the store for a couple things, or maybe I'll run out. This also leaves room if you don't have a pantry as stocked as mine. There is a little breathing room to pick up some of those pantry staples. As you can also see, the items that I picked up are mostly fresh and made from scratch. You're definitely gonna save money when you cook at home yourself, which brings me to my final tip. Cook at home. That's how you save the most money versus going out to eat. How do you think I did? Could I have done anything else to save more money? Do you think I'm going to run out after the end of the week? We'll see. I'm happy to report that we made it through the week with the food I bought, for the most part. We did decide to make homemade pizza, so I did have to go out and buy some cheese for that. I did run out of a lunch, so I did go buy hot dogs and buns, and I splurged and bought a bag of donuts for the kids for breakfast for the weekend. So I think I spent about $15, so not sure where that takes me, but I'm pretty sure I'm still very close to that budget. So I did it, and I think you can too. If you need any tips on how to feed your family on a budget, I'm happy to help. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow MyRecipes on Instagram and Facebook as well. Happy shopping. Hope to see you soon.